Welcome back to On Track with UW Math. Today is a very sad and somber day. Can you tell us why?
It's our last episode for this season.
For this season, yeah. It's our last episode. We've officially finished our co-op terms at the University of Waterloo's Faculty of Math. It's a rainy day today, and we're on the Ion. We're at Willis Way. And I'm here with a very special guest.
I'm Jonathan.
And Jonathan, what do you do here at the Faculty of Math?
I work with Women in Math. I'm one of the 3 co-ops here currently. I'm in my 5th year at the University of Waterloo. I'm an English major with a minor in mathematics.
Awesome. So for those who don't know, I'm a marketing coordinator at the University of Waterloo's Faculty of Math. I don't think I've ever said that on the show.
You have now.
No, I haven't. I'm a 3rd-year communications, arts, and law student at the University of Waterloo, and our term is coming to an end. So we want to know more about how you've liked your term so far.
It was great, honestly. The math faculty is really great with their co-ops. They are very flexible and very adapting, but also encouraging. There are multiple times where I've been encouraged and or given ways that I can take on my own projects or my own initiatives. I mean, you did the same thing with this show, so it was a great time, to be honest.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's awesome. You're an English major, you said. Okay, English major and math minor.
Yeah.
What are the biggest similarities between studying math and English?
Studying math and English. I think there is there's a big sense of creativity that happens in both. Math and English express their creativity differently. A lot of times in math classes you'll hear people talk about the beauty behind proofs, and there are many ways you can do proofs and ways to articulate it, and I think similar things come across when you do essays in English. There's different ways to articulate yourself. The creativity and expression that you get in both is kind of a similarity, I think.
So it's surprising to me that you describe math as creative. As an arts major, I don't know how that's applicable. So what makes math creative in your eyes?
When you take early on math classes at the university, you start off with Math 135, proofs class, but also you deal with a lot of logic. And I think the logic piece is the creativity behind it, because you deal with different ways to prove truth. Usually when you're doing it for class, there's one way you do it, but I think ultimately when you do it for research or deal with truth on dealing with truth on your own, there's not one path you have to take. There's different ways you can prove something, and I think that's where the creativity comes from.
Awesome. See, you don't need PR training. You're doing amazing. I don't know what you're saying.
I'm trying so hard up here.
What do you think are the biggest differences between studying math and studying English?
I think the biggest difference comes from how classes are run. Math classes are a little more independent in that you are often expected to work on your own, especially for exams or tests. And there's only one class I've had in math where I'm expected to speak to the people next to me. But in English especially, a lot of my grade is talking in class or talking to other people, group projects. So that's the biggest difference.
So let's move on to the next important thing that I wanted to talk about. You are the composer and producer of our On Track theme song.
This is true.
And so I want to get into that. How did that start? How did you create it, and what did you learn?
Okay, so a little bit of background about me is that I am one of the members of the a cappella club here at the University of Waterloo. If you didn't know, Waterloo has the largest a cappella scene in all of Canada. Might be second largest now. UBC's kind of going up. So a lot of my music experience comes from that. So I've had a fair amount of composition experience through a cappella. I do arrangements for multiple groups at the university. So I told you that early on in our semester, and you were like, we need a jingle. And I believe all you told me was the key you wanted it in. What key was it?
It was in B flat.
That means nothing to me. I couldn't tell you what is flat in B flat, but if I looked at sheet music, I would know. So yeah, that's all I was given, and I think I asked specifically for either references or vibes you wanted, and I just heard upbeat, or you gave me some, I think Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. All of my experience is through singing. You do hear drums and a bass, a piano.
Yeah.
Is piano. That was not me playing it. If you didn't know, that was like an online instrument. And then I sing the rest of the vocals.
Thank you so much for delivering such an awesome theme song for our show. I appreciate it. Should we take off our glasses for the second half of the interview?
Maybe.
I feel like that would be. What was your favorite event that you got to put on with Women in Math?
Working with Women in Math, we help out a lot of the equity groups on campus. So we help out like Pride Factors and Black in Math. At one point earlier this term, the Black in Math was hosting a potluck. That was really fun to run. I helped a little bit with like the advertising. It was mostly like admin work and setup work, but it was great to see sort of the community that came together at the event. There was probably a turnout of like 50 people, so that was great.
What's your favorite math course that you're taking or have taken?
I love calculus through and through. So Calc 2 and Calc 3 was my favorite, I think. That was low-key a math hot take. I know a lot of math friends who hate calculus with their whole heart. Sorry, I just do not like linear algebra for my life.
I actually really hated calculus.
Really?
I was more of a linear algebra person in high school. I think we did a little bit of that, but yeah. UW is not really known for being like a musical school. So if you had any advice for any folks who are interested in music but also love math and love STEM, what advice would you give them coming to Waterloo?
110%, please join a music or an arts club at this school, or even take like, if you have electives, the music classes and the arts classes here are great. I know a lot of people, especially in STEM, who are a part of music clubs and use them sort of like as either like a de-stressor or an outlet, and they found community there outside of just their classes. There's so many music clubs at this school, and the music scene is so rich because a lot of people are doing it for fun. So you meet a lot of like-minded people. So definitely recommend checking out the clubs.
Yeah. Shout out Jamnet.
Shout out Jamnet. Anna Music is great. Shout out UAC.
These are all great clubs. I've loved attending the Jamnet events and being a part of all of their community building events. I think they're doing some really cool stuff. They have a radio show, like an actual radio show. But yeah, there's lots of great opportunities for music people who are in math or engineering or wherever they may be. Many opportunities at Waterloo. So one question that I ask a lot of our guests is, what's one item you can't live without?
My headphones, my earbuds. There's an earbud in at all times. There's a headphone on at any time I'm doing any work. I think my Spotify, okay, I'm a little sad with my Spotify Wrapped last year, but I had like 67,000 minutes. That's a fair amount of music. I want it higher this year, so.
I'm going to steal another question from the Are You OK show, but one question she asks is, what's a hill you're willing to die on?
I think clubs at this university are severely undervalued. There are so many clubs at this university. There's like, 300 plus? And it's such a great way to make community, find your community, make friends, and also like make connections outside of just your school circle. And WUSU is making great efforts to like fund and support these clubs. So it's really now up to the students to like join and like find their space. And you can find your space and or make your own space. There's so much opportunity and support to help you do that.
People forget that. You can make your own club.
Aren't you making your own club?
It's in the works.
Okay.
It's in the works. Do you want to ask me any questions?
Oh, it is my time, isn't it?
Take the mic.
Hello, I am here with, what's your name?
Marissa.
What's your favorite project you've done so far working here?
Probably this. Putting together On Track was really fun. It was also very challenging because I've never been in front of the camera before. So I'm usually a behind the scenes kind of girl, and I like doing the camera work and such. But this was like a huge leap, and working with you and Carter and Betta and the whole team has been really rewarding, from, collaborating with y'all and being able to like get pieces of what you're passionate about and put it into the show. That has been the most exciting part. So yeah.
That's great. What was your inspiration to start the show?
Oh my gosh, my inspiration was Kareem Rama's Subway Takes show. He does a show on the MTA in New York City.
Yeah.
I love New York City, I love the MTA, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, we got to do something like this. There's also a show by a girl named Brianna on Instagram and YouTube. It's called the Are You OK show, where she basically asks people questions, and then by the end of it, she determines if you're okay or not. And I think she's just very iconic, and I really admire her format. So those two people for sure.
Yeah, both of those shows are great.
Yeah.
I see the influences now.
Yes.
What has been the biggest difficulty then being running the show?
I think like disrupting people's commute. I feel a little bit bad about that because it's just a bunch of 20-year-olds with a camera on the train. So maybe not one of the challenges, but one of the things I feel bad for.
Do you see hosting another show in your future?
If Kareem Rama wants to step down and not be the subway takes guy anymore, I'll happily take over and move to New York City and do the whole thing. Yeah, but that's the only other the future I see in hosting.
Not a TTC version?
Maybe. Why not? Why not? That'd be fun. You'd be my first guest because you're North York bound.
You're right.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite GRT stop?
I love this question. Thank you for asking. No one's asked me this yet. Thank you. Kitchener Market is my favorite stop. It's a really nice area, and my favorite thrift stores, my favorite cafes are in that area. I like to walk sometimes, like if I'm bored on like a Sunday, I'll just walk from Kitchener Market to like Central Station, and I'll just like go to the bookstores and cafe hop, bring my laptop, do some work, read.
Because especially when the weather's nice, I love that Waterloo especially is very walkable, you know?
I just like walking around here, and I'm excited for the summer because I'm going to get a bike.
They have the Laurel Trails, is that what it's called?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, so I'm going to get a bike, and I'm going to be on the trails all summer. So look out for me. If you ever see me, say hi.
Working in the Faculty of Math, you've probably met a bunch of like math people. Has anything like stood out to you, or anything that like you learned while working here?
I think from meeting a lot of math students and CS students, one of the biggest things that I learned is that math at University of Waterloo is actually very creative. And we talked a little bit about this, but I always thought of math and STEM in general as just like there's always a right or a wrong answer, which to some degree it is like that. And that's why I always I always liked the arts better because there was always this like subjective view you could have, and there was never really a wrong answer per se. But talking to more people who are in math, I learned that Waterloo math is actually different for that. They give students the opportunity to be creative and to problem solve in ways that I don't think other universities or other institutions are doing. Sam once told me, one of the guests that we had before, was that 1 + 1 = 2, but I can give you many different versions or ways that 1 + 1 does not equal 2. And I was like, that's interesting. Now that's creative. Just learning that from different people and different perspectives has been really interesting and eye-opening.
And I find especially like classwork for any major isn't entirely representative of kind of what the field is like. And especially like if you do research at this university, I see people doing really creative ways of doing their research or getting their answers. So yeah.
And I think there is just so many well-rounded like math students here at Waterloo. Like there's people who are, it's good to live and breathe code and whatnot, but it's also great to have other passions outside of math. And I think that's one of the things that I feel like makes a math student like great. So yeah.
And I think especially this university, there's also a lot of opportunity for people to sort of combine their interests. Like I have many friends who are like in a STEM degree, like math or like biology, and they're doing like philosophy on the side, or like English creative writing on the side. Do you have any final words you want to say to all the On Track watchers today?
To all the On Track watchers, thank you for watching. Thank you for this is a student-run marketing project, and I think that it's awesome that you're watching and supporting our content, and follow your dreams. Just make things. One of my main goals when I started this position was I just wanted to make something new and fresh that I feel like I've never seen on like a faculty site or like anywhere related to academics. So I was able to do that, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really proud of the team that I'm on. So yeah. You
should be proud. Good work.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Is there anything else we want to ask? Where are we?
We are.
Oh, your favorite station.
How did we get here? Oh my god. Okay, we need to cut this. We're too far. I'm tired, guys. Should we do outro? I don't know.
Are we singing the outro again?
No. Yeah, okay, fine. You hold the mic. Okay.
What's the starting up?
Well, you have to do your outro. Be like, thank you for joining us. On Track.
All right. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of On Track. I'm here with
Marissa.
Okay, cue the outro music.
On Track.
Great.